Yeah, you're welcome back. Now, I want to talk about the second thing, the second change. Part of the changes that happen or that is happening in the body of a teenager. And this time we're talking about the neurological development taking place in the body of a teenager at this particular point in time. Now, when we talk about neurological development, we liken it to that time when I was talking about development of nerves in their body, and I likened it to, when we are refurbishing a house, I said the wiring of the house, and as we know that the neurons, the nerves in the body are the ones that carry information here and there, and at this particular point in time, there is a kind of they are developing. There's a development around that part of their body, and one thing that is so particular is that because of this, there are two things that have been suggested. When you look at the behavior of a teenager, you'll be able to explain through these two things. Number one is it's been suggested that at this particular point in time, that the part of the brain, the part of a teenager's brain that is responsible for what we call emotions attains maturity at this particular point in time. Now, the second thing, it's been suggested also that the part of the brain, which is the frontal cortex, that is usually associated with what we call reasoning, at this particular point in time is still very immature. And because of that, when the part of the brain that is associated with reasoning is still immature, and the part of the brain that is responsible for emotion is matured, that explains the fact that why they behave in such way that they behave. For example, you see a lot of emotions in them, and you feel they don't have when they behave and they talk, they do things. You see that maybe they don't think about it very well, but they are very, very emotional. They are very, very emotional set of people. And sometimes parents will think, why don't you think about this thing? Why are you not reasoning very well in this particular area? Sometimes it's not their fault. It's just because the part of the brain that is responsible for proper reasoning is not well yet mature, but the part of the brain that is responsible for emotion is already grown and very mature. So they are very emotional. Why the part of the reasoning might not be well developed. So that's why they behave in such manners. And when we talk about the neurological development, there are some behaviors that are associated with this neurological development. And the first one that I want to talk about is sometimes they can have aggressive behavior, mm, risky behaviors. And, you know, an example of such is when we were very young, it's only teenagers that you see they don't have driving license. They have not driven any car before. Then they will go to their father's car and ignite it, and they want to drive. Such risky behavior, such dangerous behavior. So, teenagers at this particular point in time can have such behaviors. And why? Because they have lots of energy. They have lots of energy. So, as parents at that particular point in time, it's very essential that we're able to channel their energy to something that is productive. Because if you're not very careful, you will discover that they might take to some other things like alcohol, like drugs, like sexual things. So we need to be very careful that that energy that they have at this particular point in time, they are able to channel it to positive things, learn new things, things that can make them become better later in life. So these are the changes that are associated with neurological development in teenagers that will affect their behavior, the way they behave. And of course, it's still family clinic where we make better individuals, better families, and better society. I'll see you in the next video. And in the next video, we'll be talking about the social changes that can affect or that make teenagers to behave the way they behave. And please kindly help follow the page, like, comment, and share. I'll see you also in the next video. Thank you very much.